Hello, everybody. Hello, SaaStock Dublin. Hope you guys have your coffees this morning. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this morning we have a fantastic presentation, how to build your power brands. So I know a lot of the presentations today are all about scaling from 1 million to 100 million ARR, but we cannot forget one of the most important topics, the brand. Usually people forget about it, and they forget about it to their peril. So we're going to start talking about it and how to integrate your brand with your go-to-market strategy. So a little bit about myself, started at Amazon, then Intuit, then GoDaddy, then went into the scale-up space, closed a 36 million euro round in 2022, and then with my company Resourcify now, we do waste management and recycling, just closed last month of 14 million, Series A, so definitely know what it takes to scale. And I'm also part of Women of SaaS, so for all the women out there that are in SaaS, we definitely support one another. All right. Why does brand matter? And this is what we're here to talk about today. I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples that I think might be exciting. This one, anyone like Spotify out there? Anyone listen to Spotify, people? Okay, so when the only angel that you're looking for is an investor, anyone having the investor conversations going on? All right, so the playlist. What do you guys like about the way that they did this branding? Anyone out there? What do you guys like about Spotify's brand? Personalized. Anyone else? Unique. Anyone else for Spotify? All right, we're going to go to the next one. One of my favorites, Colin Kaepernick. Who remembers this particular campaign? Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything for Nike. Do you guys remember when this one came out? Do you guys remember the reactions that happened? Everybody was dogging Nike, dogging Colin Kaepernick. And this ended up to being one of the best branding campaigns of all time and one of the biggest money makers for Nike. And we're going to go back to this one because it's really, really important. This next one, I think, is a shout out to all the men in the room, and especially the men that are CEOs, founders, and executives. This ad is for men. Hire more women in leadership roles. We're all worth it. And if you look here, 15% more that you get profitability when you hire female leaders. A really cheeky and nice brand campaign, and it's all about belief. So these are three very interesting type of brand campaigns, and we're talking about how to build a power brand. What does that mean? Brand is about a feeling. It's about a belief. And this is the thing that most people get incorrect. They think it's about your price. They think it's about your go-to-market. They think it's about my software is better than your software. How many of you have seen basically the websites of my software, my product features, versus my competitor's software and product features, and that ridiculous little chart with the check marks, and buy my product because I have more check marks on the list? How many of you guys have seen that one? All right. We're not talking about a belief, and basically that's a race to a bottom, so we don't want to do that. This is what most SaaS companies do. This is from an article that I wrote for CMO Alliance, and I think you guys can probably all agree. What happens? We need to get clients. We need to get customers. So what do? Spend a bunch of money. Do lead gen campaigns. It goes up like this, and then, oh my gosh, we didn't get what we wanted. They didn't fit our ICP, and it goes back down, and it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes up. How many of you have experienced this? How many of you have burned through your budgets doing this? All right. This is what most SaaS companies do. However, what should they be doing is a long-term and a short-term demand generation cycle. So you guys can see on the graph here that your brand building goes up. And a lot of CEOs, founders, marketing leaders, executives say, why should we spend the money on brand? You don't get the direct ROI. Yes, you do. It's over time. So as your performance marketing campaigns are going up and down because the targeting is not there, because you're burning through the money, your brand campaigns will build over time and give better ROI. And if anyone wants to discuss that after the meeting, I'm happy to talk to you about that in the back. So brand can increase revenue by up to 23%. It's really interesting. When you guys look at the screen, here's the traditional cycle. Marketing, sales. And a lot of people, especially in this economy, they're doing what? They're over-indexing on their sales teams. They're hiring tons of AEs and SDRs. They might think it's cheaper. You still have headcount. A little hint, not so cheap. and they're doing a lot of outbound because they think you can directly target your ICPs. Could be true, very expensive. However, if you look at the modern funnel, it's all about marketing and then sales at the end. And why is that? Buyer behavior. Anyone else? Why is that? Okay. Branding's everything. Who likes or hates Starbucks? Mostly everyone has an opinion on Starbucks, but this is one of the best branding campaigns of all time because it's the same coffee and the same beans, and you can charge nearly 3 times as much for it. How many of you guys have been to Starbucks Reserve Roastery? The Premier. Do you guys know how much they charge for a bag of coffee because it's their brand? 80 euros a bag. That's some good branding. Good sales, good ROI right there. All right. This is a quote that I made up, but I believe it is extremely powerful. Brand building should be the essence of your growth strategy. It is the foundation of your customer acquisition and retention strategy. It is the one lever that all SaaS companies should focus on first. However, they don't look at until their performance marketing strategies fail. And I've seen this over and over and over again, especially with scale-ups, especially scale-ups that are seed to Series B. It's performance marketing, get those leads in right away, you burn through your budgets, and then they're like, oh my gosh, we forgot, we needed a brand. So the problem, what happens in the sales cycle is customers, they don't know who we are. They know about a price, they know about features, they don't know who we are, and the solution is build your brand awareness. So the question, what do you believe? And this is the essence of how to build your power brand. What do you believe? This is Nike's, and I'm putting this one up because everybody knows the brand. They believe to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. And you see their campaigns. Do you guys see them selling their campaigns with their price or the features of the rubber in their shoes? No. They put out campaigns, find your greatness, elevate yourself. It's because people buy what you believe, they don't buy what you sell. And that's the essence of building a power brand. Next one, Tesla. Who drives a Tesla? Any Tesla drivers? All right. So their essence is to create the most compelling electric car company of the 21st century. Do you guys think they're on their way to doing that? Yes, no, maybe so. You can definitely say, though, that they've started to build their brand and they're starting to create their movement. It's the same reason that Apple, who are Apple users, Apple computer users, who are Microsoft Surface users? Yeah, not so much. Why is that? The brand. Now, there have been many studies, if you guys go on GeekWire or CNET, and there have been many comparisons, the Microsoft Surface versus the Apple MacBook, and every single time the Surface is outcompeting on features and technical functionality, but people still buy Apple because of the brand. So another anecdotal example of how this works. This is a really interesting one. It gets you to think. Imagine a CEO. Is it a man? Imagine a nurse. Is it a woman? Imagine someone in a board meeting. Is it a man? This goes to the essence of what you believe, and this essence is how you build a power brand. It gets you to think. It gets you to believe. So this is the whole purpose. All right, what do you need to do to build your power brand? Start early. Define what you believe. Explain why you believe it. And then begin your brand strategy at the beginning. So a lot of scale-ups will wait till they've burned through their performance marketing budgets to build a brand. Start at the beginning. It will slowly build over time, especially in this economy. It's super important. You will align it with your content strategies, your UGC campaigns, but super important. The next one, and this goes to the funnel slide that I had before. 70% of the buyer's journey is done even before you go to sales. How many of you guys have been in a sales cycle or SDRs reach out and then the client on the other end says, "Who are you?" A lot. It happens. Who are you? So all of those fantastic HubSpot sequencing campaigns will fall flat if customers don't understand who you are and what you believe. So super, super important. This is the typical scale-up, go-to-market journey, and this is the essence of what happens. You want leads. Everybody wants leads, whether it's inbound or outbound, doesn't matter. They want those leads. You spend all that money without focusing on your brand, your essence, and your belief. And then what happens? Oh my gosh, we spent so much money, and the leads they're not in our ICP range. How many of you guys have experienced this? The leads come back, they're not in the ICP target range, sales gets pissed, they go to the marketing team. You guys aren't good at doing any leads because we didn't actually go to the essence of brand and brand building. And then the targets go down, then the budgets go down, and then you ask the question, do we have a brand? So this is why it's so important that scale-ups, especially at the early stages, start with brand at the beginning. All right, how do you do that? Authenticity matters. So you guys have seen many brand campaigns with celebrities, if you guys watch Super Bowl campaigns, but it's actually user-generated content and authentic brand content that matters. That means content from you and I. That means content from your clients, your customers. And yes, you can do it in B2B SaaS. So here, 57% of people surveyed, less than half of all brands believe that they're creating content that's authentic. And that's the key, the belief, the authenticity. 3 in 10 millennials, I don't know how many of millennials are in the room, but 3 in 10 millennials say they unfollowed a brand on social media because they felt the content was too fake. And this is the main change that's happening in today's economy. So a few years ago, it was all about put up the glossiest brand campaign that you could ever imagine. Now it's about authenticity, real users, real stories. You're starting to see brands that you would never even believe. What's a great example? Snowflake, who knows Snowflake, the company? Have you guys started to see some of their campaigns, great user-generated content? I would definitely start taking a look at that. All right, another reason why authenticity matters. What kind of content is most authentic? Created by consumers. Not created by the marketing teams in their virtual or physical rooms, created by the consumers. This is the shift that is happening today. Yes, they can be created by brands, but created by consumers. This is UGC, user-generated content, not just for e-commerce. If you guys saw my other speech about marketing on little to no budget, you might have seen this particular slide. This is a company called Hootsuite, who uses Hootsuite social media. Any Hootsuite people out here? This is their I Work From Here campaign. They basically took people where they work from, put it into the content. It does work for B2B SaaS. All right, here's 3-step guide to branding in your go-to-market strategy. So does the brand align with your identity and concern? Does it position your brand as a knowledge expert in the space? So you can have a belief in authenticity, but you can also tie it in to be the knowledge expert in your space and center your brand campaigns around the core benefit that you're trying to get consumers to feel. And that's the biggest difference. So all the companies you see with the booths out there, they're all talking about their price, they're talking about their positioning, they're talking about their features. The one thing they're not talking about is the feeling. And that is the essence of building a powerhouse brand. When you look at the Apple example, the Nike example, Tesla, it's about the feeling. Does brand matter? Before we go into the final slides, I wanted to see who has favorite brands out there. Can we get a microphone for the audience? Who's got a favorite brand? Somebody out there has a favorite brand.
Strava.
Strava, and why do you like it?
Well, it's sort of a good UX and UI, and they sort of it's for cycling and sports tracking, mapping. Yeah.
What does Strava believe?
Helping its community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and helping you perform, and yeah. So it's basically helpful. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Okay. Who else has a brand? Who else has a favorite brand? Favorite brand? What up here? What out there? Running across the room.
North Face.
North Face, yes, of course. And why are they your favorite brand?
I think they're just the message around exploring and, adventures and pushing just resonates.
And what does North Face believe?
that you should never stop exploring. That's the brand messages. Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep pushing. Yeah.
Really nice. Who else has a favorite brand?
It's a small shoe brand from Turkey called Prev. Stands for Plant Revolution. I think I identify with the founder. She's a female young entrepreneur, and also I like the goal of the brand.
Nice.
They make shoes from olives and tomato skin.
Nice.
So
Really, and what do they believe?
they believe that they can replace animal leather to plant leather. And I think all of the wearers of that brand are like self-influencers of the brand because we all kind of identified with it.
Really nice. And I think we had another person, this gentleman in the front.
My favorite brand is Qubits.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's a spectacle brand.
Okay.
They make spectacles cool. So I'm wearing Qubits, and it's about the kind of authenticity of the conversation around the kind of the scene and building the kind of I guess the community. So like magazines and yeah, just making it a much more accessible kind of thing to wear.
Nice. And what do they believe?
I think it's a fashion thing ultimately, but it's about I think it's the community building. I think is the main
Really
thing.
nice. And you're wearing the product.
I'm wearing the products.
Very, very nice. All right, one more. Anyone else? Oh, with two more. Okay, we'll go to this side.
For me, it's Whoop.
Which one?
Whoop.
Ah, okay.
Whoop band, yeah. So for me, it's about sleep optimization and understanding with data how to sleep better and increase performance during the day. And I think they believe, that you should have data to understand your body and your metrics, so you get to know your how you work during the nighttime. You spend 1/3 of your day, so they believe you should know what's happening and to improve from that point. So it's awesome.
Nice. Really cool. I'll have to check that one out. And I think we have another one in here.
I was gonna say Gibson guitars. So like their feeling or whatever is like kind of craftsmanship. They make, the best guitars in the world. They're American made, and they don't cheap out on quality. And they sound good, and they've been in the industry for like 50 years or even more.
Really
So,
nice. Really nice. Okay, one more. Anyone in the back? All right.
Hi. I would say something like Crocs or Birkenstocks, just because they have been so unapologetically themselves, and now they are the coolest things ever. So yeah.
You love them or hate them?
I
the Crocs.
love them so much.
Yes. All right. Anyone else? All right. Thank you for talking about your favorite brands. Thank you for talking about what you like about them and what they believe. But just everyone that just heard all the explanations, what are the things that you did not hear from the people in the audience when we talked about the brands and why they like them? Right. We did not hear price. What else did we not hear? Features. What else? Positioning, we didn't hear. So all the things that you were hearing about how to go to market, that's great to go to market, but when you want to build a powerhouse brand, it's not about price, it's not about features, it's not about positioning. Every single person in the audience that answered the question, it was the feeling. And when you heard them talk, it was how it made them feel. And that is the point. So, does brand matter? I'm going to go back to this campaign. The Dream Crazy campaign, because this one was so polarizing in the news that Donald Trump, whether you love him or hate him, Donald Trump basically said, what was Nike thinking? And then it turned out to be what? One of the best branding campaigns of all time, one of the biggest money-making branding campaigns for Nike as a company. So again, in this campaign, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And for those of you in the audience that thinks that brand and brand positioning cannot lead you to sales or to ROI, 31% increase in sales alone from this brand campaign, $6 billion in brand value, and $163 million in earned media. Earned media is basically the cost that it would take for you to buy that media out in the open market. So does brand matter? Yes. Does it lead to ROI? Yes. But how you build your power brand is with the feeling. So focus on the feeling and focus on it first. And thank you, and let's connect. Have a nice SaaStock, everyone.